grade 10s, today we'll be joining Lebo as she draws a bar graph. Lebo is part of a committee that is organizing a music concert. She has gathered a set of discrete data showing how many people like each suggested band. Remember that discrete data is data that can only be collected in whole numbers. Let's join Lebo now.
How do I go about drawing a graph?
Firstly, it'll be easier to do it on squared paper so that you don't have to measure out each bar. Your bars will be easier to draw and your graph easier to read afterwards.
So how big should the graph be?
This is a really important question to consider for any graph. You need to work out how much space you need for the graph. It shouldn't be so small that we can't see it, or too big that it doesn't fit onto the page. To do this, you must choose a scale to use on the axes. First, consider the y-axis. This is where you need to fill in the number of people. Have a look at your frequency table. This means that we need to fit the numbers from 0 up to at least 35 on the y-axis. The squared paper you have has only 20 squares on the y-axis.
Now, if we use 1 block per person, there won't be enough blocks because 35 won't fit in.
Good. So a scale of 1 block per person won't work. So should we get 2 people per block or 5 people per block? How many people do you think we should represent with each block?
I think we will need 1 block to represent 2 people. Then this means that we will need 18 blocks for the longest bar.
That is a good choice. If you had used a block for too many people, you would make a graph that is too small and the bars would be too short. Now let's draw the axes and label them. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. We need to label the axes to describe the data. So what will you need on each axis?
I think we will need the names of the band on one axis, and then we will need the number of people who chose them on the other.
Okay, so if we put the names of the bands on the x-axis, we will make a bar graph with the bars standing on the x-axis. And the number of people who chose each band will be on the y-axis. So now you can number the y-axis starting at 0 and going up 2 for each block.
0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 34, and 36.
Now we need to decide how to use the x-axis. We need space for 5 bands and the bars you use must all be the same width.
Let me work this out. There are 24 blocks along each axis. I need 5 bars, so can I use 4 blocks per 1 bar?
This will give you very thick bars with no spaces between them. Bar graphs must have spaces between the bars. Rather draw bars that are 2 blocks wide with a space of 1 block between each bar.
Okay, I've put the labels in on the axis. Is it correct? Squatter Camp, Prime Circle, Mr. Salvin, Mafikizolo, Dr. Victor.
Perfect. Now you're ready to draw your bars. Look at your frequency table. How many people preferred Squatter Camp?
35.
35 lies between 34 and 36. So you can draw the bar halfway between the 34 and 36.
Okay, now I get it. Let me do the next one. Prime Circle had 15 people choosing them, so we can draw our bar halfway between 14 and 16. Mr. Salvin had 9 votes, while Mafikizolo had 34 votes, and 7 people preferred Dr. Victor. This looks great. Are we done?
Not quite. You need to give your graph a title to describe the data. What do you think you should call it?
How about favorite bands?
That's fine. And that's it. What do you think?
I think it's great. My team members are going to be very impressed. And you were right. It is easier to read data from this graph than having a full table of numbers.
One of the advantages of a bar graph is how easy it is to compare the size of the data. I suggest you look at the task for this section in the data handling task video. You will also be able to learn more about data handling on our website, www.mindset.co.za/learn. Take care.